To Dark Side News, Moon Township's #1 spot for pop culture. I'm Nathan Kingston.
And I'm Aaron Fryer. Here's what's happening on the dark side. So, we're going to get right into it. Last Tuesday, Masahiro Sakurai announced the last DLC fighter for Smash Ultimate, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. What does this Keyblade user's essentially inclusion mean for Smash as a whole? And was he a good fit? Nathan, let's see your take on it.
Oh, my take on it? Personally, I really enjoyed the trailer. I mean, it was very cinematic, just the way they had it like filmed and animated. And then just the whole like it's just all black, and you just see all these other Smash characters down below, and then you just see the Smash symbol, and all of a sudden Mario, he jumps out, throws it out, and all of a sudden this giant keyhole appears. What do you think?
I'd like to say I am personally not a big Sora fan. Like, going into the trailer, I wasn't like, oh, I want Sora for Smash. But that trailer right there sold me. They could not have ended that on the better way. The way that the music swelled to be the way that it was, the way that they used the iconic Kingdom Hearts theme, and then the way that Sora just fell out of that keyhole, it felt like he actually belonged in Smash, and this kind of like led to that whole thought of him winning the Smash ballot, and ultimately that's why he is the ultimate character, if you will.
Now, who would you, if anyone, like to see more than Sora?
So, if anyone I would like to see more than Sora, I'd say, I don't know. I think Sora capped it off perfectly. I think the only other character that can maybe compete was my pick in Master Chief, but you know what? I can't say that I've played Halo, so I'm not too upset about it. Sora is definitely is a good pick for it. Do you have a
preference? I mean, I'm still sad that I didn't pick. I still think that my pick was still really good with the villain from Sonic, Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
I still think he would have been great because, I mean, you have all those other villains from all these other different franchises. So but I think Sora's good. Now, did you see the little Mickey Mouse head connected to the key?
Dude, when I saw that Mickey Mouse thing, I was like, no way. They did not actually put a Mickey Mouse logo into a Smash game. Like, number one, that probably cost them millions of dollars because Disney is super stingy about that. But also just, it's groundbreaking to see in this fighting game with all these video game characters, and then you just put Disney in there. You just put Mickey Mouse in there. The only thing that would have made this reveal possibly better if they just even like put a little Mickey Mouse voice clip in, or if they included Mickey Mouse at all, just going, yeah, and then like something along those lines. Like, that would have been absolutely legendary, making this one for the ages.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just Mickey Mouse as a playable character, that would have been great.
King Mickey specifically, of course.
Yeah. Now, going on with this whole Smash aspect, what has Smash meant to you through all its history?
So, I'm going to be real with you. I have 520 hours on the game. As soon as that game came out, it was me and my friend Sean, and we came rushing home from the school bus. We went right into my room, and we played that game for 7 hours. So it is crazy for me to think about how much this game has like made an impact on me, and like how much it's genuinely changed the gaming scene as a whole. Do you have any special impacts?
So whenever I was younger, whenever Smash Bros. Brawl came out, me and my friends were so excited. I mean, we played it on the Wii, which was it's old, but the Wii was great. We always mess around. Just coming all together, I feel like it was a great game just to play with friends and just duke it out between all these different characters. You have any other memories?
Oh, I can tell you, honestly, this, I was talking to you before the show, but like, I can picture every single time a Smash character was revealed in my head. Like, I can tell you that I was watching the Incineroar reveal in my English class. I can tell you that I was watching the Minecraft Steve reveal in gym class. Like, any reveal that you can talk about for this game, I will remember, because this game has meant so much to me, and it's just been so memorable to me, seeing all these iconic characters come together and stuff along those lines. And I think something very interesting to note was in that presentation of Sora, and Sora's like a kind of childish character, and he's grown over the series of Kingdom Hearts, which I think parallels us as a whole, because Sakurai mentioned how you can go from middle school to high school in the time from Ultimate's announcement to now. And I can say that I've gone from high school to college, and you can say that too.
I can say the same.
Yeah. So I think it's a very good parallel between The Last Fighter and Smash as a whole.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Smash has gone through, many changes. They went from the original Super Smash Bros. And on the 64, Nintendo 64 that is. Then they moved on to Super Smash Bros. Melee. That came out in 2001. I mean, the first one came out in 99. So 2001 was Melee. In 2008, I believe, 2008 was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. 2014, they did Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U. And then 2018, they finally came out with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So it's just crazy how they all came from 99 all till now.
I think it's just interesting as you watch like the slow progression of the series, because the game started out as just some casual game, and then Melee is super competitive. Still to this day, there are still Melee tournaments like Hungry Box. There's still people playing Melee, and then Brawl brought us the Subspace Emissary, all the characters. Like, this felt like the ultimate crossover until Ultimate happened, and Ultimate ends up as being like a mix between both that competitive standpoint and also that casual standpoint, where you're able, and it's become like synonymous with like just having people hang out and stuff. Like, you can go up to anyone, say, want to play Smash, and they know what it is.
Yeah, they know what you're talking about. I mean, unless they're living under a rock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you don't know what it is at this point. Like, it's great. It's got Disney in it now.
Yeah, it's got Disney in it now.
That's crazy to think about. And then I remember personally, as like in 6th grade, the Smash ballot came out, and I remember voting for 2 characters who both made it in the game. So that's just crazy to think about also, just in general. And they did not reveal those results until this Sora presentation. So I think that was extremely, like, I don't know, I want to say like cathartic moment where we finally got all this build up from 6 years, and there it is. There's the winner, Sora. And that's why I think Sora has finally like grown on me as a character.
Okay. Now, are you tempted to use Sora in Smash?
So I'm a bit nervous about Sora because I'm number one, I play more heavyweights. I don't like to play the lightweights, and Sora is going to be one of the lighter weights. But also, he seems to have like a Bayonetta-like recovery system, and we know how Bayonetta went in Smash 4, being extremely broken.
Oh, extremely broken.
How about you? Do you plan on looking into Sora as a potential main?
No, I don't think I will. I mean, I also go for the heavy-weighted characters as well, and you know, watching the gameplay, they looked pretty well. I mean, they looked pretty well in the gameplay. So
particularly, I mean, one skin, the Time River skin, was actually a big surprise for me, because that's the closest thing we have to like Disney content in the thing. So if I am playing Sora, definitely going to use that one.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts about Brawl or Ultimate in general for Super Smash Bros?
Honestly, I just can't like thank this game enough for like everything that it's done. Just in general, Masahiro Sakurai is like a god game developer. My opinions on Nintendo as a whole, business-wise, they're a bit iffy, but like game developer-wise, they've pushed out some of the best, some of my favorite games of all time. So I have to respect Sakurai for all he's done, and I hope the man can finally take his vacation. God bless him.
Now, moving on to another fighting game, how about All-Stars? Nintendo All-Stars.
Nickelodeon All-Stars.
Nickelodeon. My bad.
And essentially, we have, with Nickelodeon All-Stars, it kind of goes to a question of, is it a good game? I'm not sure, honestly.
I think that might be just going for these characters. I mean, you got SpongeBob, I mean, you got Sandy Cheeks, and all these other characters from Nickelodeon.
We're going to talk more about this and, in general, more Nintendo news in a little bit, but for now, we're just going to transition to break. Later on in the show, more Nintendo news and some of that ways that a certain favorite Battle Royale game is celebrating Halloween. More of that after the break.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
I can't wait to get back to field trips with my school.
Not having to think about putting on a mask.
I really can't wait to get back to life, really.
I miss all my friends. I miss taking pictures in school.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
COVID-19 vaccines are available, and they're the first step to safely getting back to things we miss most. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to Dark Side News Network. Before we went to break, we were talking about Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, so we're going to continue with that conversation. And Nate, do you have any thoughts on the game?
On the game, I mean, of course you have your stacked character list of all these Nickelodeon characters. You got all the SpongeBob characters. I mean, you got Nigel Thornberry. But the thing that was crazy is they released a Disney character on the same day as Nickelodeon. What's your take on that?
I think that's pretty funny. It was kind of just like, maybe it was just a coincidence, but I find it funny that they like put in a Disney character, that Smash put in a Disney character, stealing the spotlight away from Nick on the same day that Nickelodeon All-Stars came out. Like, that's just funny to me. But in general, I think Nickelodeon All-Stars, many people are like, will it hold a candle to Smash? No way.
No way.
No. It is an extremely fun game, don't get me wrong. But it's kind of broken in that, like, there are a few characters that literally, Michelangelo, I know, can go under the stage and do an infinite where he literally cannot be touched. So
that's not broken.
Yeah, I know, not at all. Sandy Cheeks has an infinite jab, like it's crazy, but it is a fun game. And
well, I mean, broken games are fun games.
Yes, exactly. It's not a good game, but it's a fun game. I use this on a lot of movie descriptions, stuff like that. But I think that Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl does not hold like any meta significance. It's just a fun game that you can pick up with a few friends. You can play as your favorite Nickelodeon characters, such as Oblina from Ariel Monsters, a character who I've never heard about before, a show that I've never heard about before. But hey, it's in the game, so what am I going to do about it?
So that's our take on all these fighting games coming out. You got the new Sora for Super Smash Bros. And we got Nickelodeon All-Stars. Now, on to some other Nintendo news. The Animal Crossing Direct is set to be dropped on October 15th at 10 a.m. It'll be roughly 20 minutes of information and content coming to the game. There are even speculation that a long-awaited character, Gyroids, will return to the game. The Animal Crossing character, Cap'n, is also expected to return. Other than characters, there is also going to be new crops, the ability to cook, and new emotions to use.
The Switch OLED has released this past Friday, October 8th. This updated console was announced back in July when fans were clamoring for the updates to the base model. The new model has enhanced audio and visuals, ensuring to capitalize on the Switch's capabilities. It also possesses double the amount of storage as a normal Switch, clocking in at 64 gigabytes compared to the Switch's 32. An adjustable stand also blesses the console, hoping to make it as successful as the Nintendo Switch. And alongside the OLED model, Metroid Dread has released this past Friday. While fans await news on Metroid Prime 4, which has been in the works for a few years, Nintendo released this Return the Form for the 2D Metroid series. Bounty Hunter extraordinaire Samus Aran returns to go through another classic style with interesting shakeups. For instance, the new enemy EMMI has been promoted in marketing activities. including getting an amiibo. Reviews have been looking good so far, and it is said to pair perfectly with the OLED model.
Now into some GTA news. Rockstar will be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the original release date of Grand Theft Auto 3, later this month, that is. In honor of the Rockstar that announced the GTA trilogy, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, that trilogy, will be coming to the current and next-gen consoles later this year. It will be called Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. With this, the trilogy will have graphics updates and modern gameplay feel, while also maintaining the classic look for the trilogy.
Releasing on Wednesday, October 6th, Far Cry 6 is returning to the roots of the series by taking place on a tropical island in Cuba. Although maintaining the same gameplay as is common with the Far Cry franchise, the story will take place on the fictional Cuban island of Yara. The player will take control of the role of Danny Rojas, a freedom fighter who wishes to restore the island to its former glory. Reviews so far are looking good for this installment in the franchise and will hopefully lead well into the future. Happy Halloween for Fortnite players, as Fortnitemares has come into full swing. The 4-week event will bring new content through the item shop each week. Notable inclusions are Universal Monsters, The Mummy and Frankensteins as part of the Universal Monster set. Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead will also be making an appearance, and he made his debut this Saturday. Finally, a new weapon known as the Dual Fiend Hunter crossbows are premiering. Fortnitemares content will continue to be released throughout the month.
The open beta for Battlefield 2042 happened this past week from October 6th to the 9th on all platforms. This was a way for players to access the new game a month before its release date on November 19th. The beta then closed on Sunday the 10th for all of the platforms. In the beta, it offers some returning game modes such as Conquest. Battlefield 2042 beta also offered a first look at the new map, Orbital, which has a rocket launch which can also affect the terrain itself while you're playing.
In some Marvel news, it was Agatha all along. The actress Kathryn Hahn, who played Agatha Harkness in the Marvel show WandaVision, is expected to appear in other MCU titles in the future. Her character has gained so much popularity, and Kathryn Hahn even won awards for her portrayal as the character. There has been speculation she could be in the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie, and this is because Scarlet Witch, who was the main character of WandaVision, is also expected to be present in Doctor Strange. As for the usual, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is not going anywhere, giving anything away.
In other news, the creator of Yakuza and Super Monkey Ball game series, Toshihiro Nagashi, is leaving Sega after working at the Japanese Titan for 30 years. He's decided to leave Ryugan Gotoku Studio, a subsidiary of Sega. Nagashi was the founding member of the studio, which recently produced the smash hit RPG Yakuza Like a Dragon. RGG Studio released a statement from Nagashi saying, "As of today," and I quote, "As of today, a new Ryuga Goto, the series will live on," said Nagashi. Though, and I quote, "Though I don't know for sure what they will create. I believe the next generation will further enhance the foundation we built over the years and deliver great games to the world," end quote. He'll be succeeded by Masashi Yayama, who is currently working on a sequel to Like a Dragon. Nagashi will be missed at Sega.
Daniel Craig's final James Bond film, No Time to Die, has finally found itself in theaters this past Friday. Personally, No Time to Die has been my most anticipated movie ever since early 2020. The movie was initially slated to premiere in April of 2020 due to COVID, before being delayed again until November 2020. Once again, it was pushed to April 2021 before getting delayed again, and now it is finally here. The movie was well worth the wait, and I suggest any fan go watch it. I'll be giving my review on the film later in the show. Aside from Tamar Braxton in Celebrity Big Brother, there has never been a black winner of the main series. Now, Big Brother has finally crowned their first black champion of the main series. Xavier Prather was deemed the victor 2 Wednesdays ago in a unanimous 9-0 vote against fellow housemate Derek Big D Frazier. The win follows the success of the Cookout, an all-black alliance dedicated to the goal of having a black winner. Kylan Young, Tiffany Mitchell, Hannah Chada, Derek Frazier, Azza Wassam, and Xavier Prather all made it to Final 6, ensuring their goal would be completed.
Goku returns in the second Dragon Ball Super movie, known as Dragon Ball Super Superhero. It's set to release in 2022. Redundant titles aside, the first official trailer has dropped with a more approachable 3D style. Characters like Goku, Piccolo, and Pan all appear within the trailer. Fans are sure to look forward to this as once again, Ari Toriyama is on board.
Coming up, Guardians of the Galaxy developers Eidos Montreal have announced that they are shifting to a 4-day work week. Nate and I will break down our thoughts. Plus, reviews on Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and No Time to Die. More after the break.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Volver a vivir esos momentos comienza con protegerlos contra el COVID-19 y sus peligrosas variantes nuevas. Obtén la información más reciente en detidepende.org o consulta con tu pediatra o proveedor de servicios médicos.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Hey, boss. Okay.
Said I'm fine.
With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. We were underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dark Side News. Like we were talking about before the break, Guardians of the Galaxy developers Eidos Montreal have announced that they will be shifting over to a 4-day work week. This comes after COVID-19 work from home measures. Now, Aaron and I will break down our thoughts and what this could mean for the industry as a whole. Now, Aaron, what do you think about this whole thing?
I think this is very interesting coming from the fact that they are owned by Square Enix, which is actually a big developer in the grand scheme of how video games work. Like, they've done so much stuff with like JRPGs. They have Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy. They came out with that Avengers game, and that's actually Eidos Montreal. So I think it's very interesting seeing them like give it able to be more flexible with their work schedules. How about your opinions on this?
Now, I feel like it's better for like mental health, I guess you could say. I mean, it's not much a strain on all of the developers themselves. I mean, because they are taking Fridays off in all the studios, so that includes Square Enix and Eidos Montreal. And I think they're only going to limit to 32-hour work weeks. So I think that's pretty good. Plus, they're getting paid the same but working less.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's like a great incentive, just to work harder in general. It gives them more opportunity to focus on mental health. They're not crunching for games to be done by a specific time. If a game gets delayed, oh well, it gets delayed. But you can ultimately expect a better product out of that delay.
Exactly. I mean, because if you look at all these past games, I mean, Cyberpunk, they worked on that game for, what, 10 years? And it turned out so bad. So it was so laggy, so glitchy, so many bad things were happening in that. And like, what other games? I mean, you had Fortnite did the same thing.
Fortnite had bit of problem with that.
Yes.
I mean, the only good thing you can say about Cyberpunk was that Keanu Reeves was in it.
Oh yes, Keanu Reeves. That's the only solid part of that game.
Yeah, exactly. And just in general, like this isn't the first time we've seen some companies do this. Like we've noticed Nintendo before. I think when Animal Crossing New Horizons was in development, they ended up like, working around it and allowing the game to come out later in exchange for their employees' mental health. Another game company also did that produced like Octodad and games like that. So it's interesting to see another big studio like turn to this idea. Now, do you think there are any downsides with this?
Downside, yes, because I mean the games are coming out later, which means, your consumer, they're going to get a little angsty about that. They're like, hey, I wanted to see this game come out. I saw a trailer for it. I want to play it. I want to play it now. I want a beta or something. I mean, what else can you do? I mean, you're either saying, hey, we want to be good for our consumer, or we want to be good for our employees. I mean, it's a weird scale to go against.
Yeah, now I am a consumer, so naturally I'm going to want the game there faster. But hey, if it comes at the expense of people's lives and jeopardizing that, then I don't think that it's a product worth supporting. Like, crunch time, I understand there is crunch time, but sometimes deadlines need to be rearranged if it's too much work for these people. So ultimately, that's just kind of my stance on how this will hopefully open up the door for many more companies to realize, oh, this is working, let's do more of this. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts.
Oh man. So, I mean, we're going to be talking about more things about other reviews later in the show, but I mean, do you think this next Guardians of the Galaxy game is going to be good compared to the Avengers game that they made?
So I have high hopes for this Guardians of the Galaxy game just because the Avengers game was kind of like locked behind paywalls. There was so many glitches with it, if I'm not mistaken. It just ended up being a disappointment on all terms from what I understand. So I'm hopeful for this Guardians of the Galaxy game. I'm hoping it's going to be like rival the similar feel of Mass Effect, which in general is kind of regarded as some of the best games of this generation. So I'm hoping that they take it that direction, and please be good. Please
be good.
They need to do the Guardians of the Galaxy justice, I feel. And it's just like, hopefully they can keep on continuing this and making better and better games because of it.
Oh yeah, just because of their employees' mental health, and just because of that, they don't want to be stressed to have all these deadlines. Because honestly, I'd rather have a better game than another glitchy Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Also, just in general, it gives you more time for marketing. Like, more people are going to be talking about your game if they're like, all publicity is good publicity.
Oh,
is that,
any publicity is
thing.
good publicity.
So if you hear like a game's taking a long time, then you know it's going to hopefully be really good. And that's what I kind of hope for with how this is going.
All right, so now I'm going to go into our movie reviews. First, 2 weekends ago, I went to go see Venom: Let There Be Carnage, which came out October 1st. To keep my review spoiler-free, I won't give away any major plot points. First of all, I believe that the movie was a good build-off of the first movie, Venom, which came out in 2018. In this second installment, we follow Eddie Brock, a journalist from San Francisco, follow up on a story of a serial killer, Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage. The story has its ups and downs, comedic moments with Eddie and Venom, and is truly a love story because you have that love dynamic between him and his ex-wife, ex-girlfriend. But overall, I'd rate it a 7.5 out of 10. How about you, Aaron?
I had the opportunity to watch No Time to Die yesterday, and I can say I have not stopped thinking about it yet. The movie opens shortly after Spectre. No Time to Die follows the iconic character James Bond as he lives his life in retirement before being pulled back in for another mission. The strongest boon of the story is how perfectly it concludes the character arc that James Bond has been going through over the past 15 years. Daniel Craig's acting is outstanding, along with the rest of the cast, bringing the humanity and realism to the role of the super spy. Every other actor does nail their performance, and Craig's era of James Bond as a whole has been consistent in delivering the stories relevant, providing this conclusion with a lot more gravity. All in all, it's an amazing conclusion to the saga, capping off the story with little loose ends. I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
That's all for Dark Side News this week. I've been Nate Kingston.
And I've been Aaron Fryer.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.